Okay, so anybody have any other questions? No? Motion to accept this for information? Go ahead, Corey. All in favor? That is carried.
And your worship, with your kind permission, we can move off table 5.1.
Okay, we'll do so. Oh, Liz?
Hello, how are you? Not bad.
So we've already kind of discussed this a little bit, so I think everybody pretty much knows what's going on. If you want to comment farther on it, I would certainly be glad to listen to you.
I understand that Donna read the RFD already, and essentially all we're doing is taking a vacant parcel that has had no development on it for quite some time and supporting the current landowner in creating a park. And the designation is being proposed to be changed from the central commercial to the public service district. Typically, we would say do not, as a planner, our typical answer would be, or comment would be, do not change zoning on your main street to residential. But this one's very different. Creating a special park in the middle of your downtown core makes a lot of sense. And creating a bit of a legacy piece that will be there for a long time is a lot different than losing commercial space to, for example, residential. So this is something that makes logical sense to me as a planner, and something that I think has a great potential to create a special space in the community for years to come.
Okay, well, I think that's, anything you want to add to that, or?
Liz, just so we've got timelines straight, so at the end of the month, we have regular. So we'll pass first reading, and then we set the date of the public hearing.
Yep.
So the date of the public hearing would then be most likely regular at the end of April.
Yep, that would be typically how you would do it. I can't recall if we've put this into circulation yet or not. And the circulation is just to, the relevant agencies and the neighbors. I don't foresee any comments on this. I don't foresee this being controversial with any of those or them having any significant issues. But that would give us time to do that if it hasn't already been started. Jesse would be the one who would know for sure if it's been started. But essentially, we put it into circulation, we get comments back, and then, assuming there are none or none of significant concern, you would be able to hold your public hearing, your second and third, at your regular meeting in April.
That would be correct. So on the March 25th regular, we'll pass first reading. We've gone into circulation, am I correct?
No, not until it is confirmed by motion what the date of the public hearing will be, and we know for certain.
Okay.
So we will know for certain at the March 25th regular,
Yeah.
and then I can actually put the date on circulation, and then that'll give us still 2 weeks to circulate.
That's correct.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I guess, we need first reading for you to do notice, do you not? Like, for you to do public notice of the hearing, we have to do first reading of it first.
That is correct.
Yes.
So then,
We can start our circulation to the agencies without the date of public hearing. I can work with Jesse and we'll get that done here this week, as we know it's moving forward. And that just gives us a bit more time in case somebody had concerns. Again, I don't foresee any, but the circulation to like Alberta Transportation and organizations like that, we don't need a public hearing date for. So we can start that right away.
All right, thank you.
that's perfect. So our date to pass first reading is the 25th. Then we set the public hearing date. Then would be for the 22nd of April. And second and third reading on the bylaw, and then we start circulation next week on certain agencies and other things after. So we have our timeline straight.
Okay.
And we'll make sure my internet connection works better for the other meetings.
Hey, it's been a long day for you.
Not a problem. All right, well, thank you for that. I guess that's all we need. We'll make a motion here and.
Move to accept for information until the 25th then.
Thank you, Corey. All in favor? All right, we're done. Thank you very much, Liz. We talked to some of your people, and Corey and I talked to some of your people on the weekend there, Testimere.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, they were.
Wonderful.
New council people out there. So
Yep.
That's kinda cool.
Yep. They are a new council, and it's an exciting time there. But there's something to be said about consistency.
They said you're liked around there. They said you're doing, that we're not allowed to have you, so.
Yeah.
Very,
I just want to put a plug. We still want you here. Don't listen to them.
I will continue to be there for you guys. That's
Okay.
not going to change.
Good.
That is, that will not change at all. So I am still here to support you guys however you need.
All right, thank you.
That's great, Liz. Just always remember, I'm taller.
How you bet you are.
All right, well, you have a good night. Thank you. Thanks again.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, moving on then to council reports. Okay, I'll start with myself here. So February was, I got some good ones for March, but I'm not going to talk about them yet. But February was a pretty quiet month there. We had our cow meeting on the 11th. We had a water team meeting on the 12th. February 24th, we had our regular meeting, and I was supposed to have a virtual meeting with the Black Gold, but they canceled it. I don't know if it was because of the strike they're having going on or whatever, but they're going to reschedule it, and that's really all I had for that month. Much questions. All right, Councilor Gilbert.
Well, we had a few things going on there at the beginning of the month there. The 7th, I had to miss out on EBU's governance committee because we had strategic planning retreat there for LHF out at the lake. So that was from the 7th and 8th. There was an overnight thing out at the village at Pigeon there again. And then we had, there was on, which day was that? That was on the 19th. There was the Ladue County FCSS meeting, which was nothing of huge concern. There was the day following on the 20th, the LHF Finance Committee. And then, like Daryl said, we have kind of had a busy March here so far, but I guess that's March, so.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. We're making up for it in March.
Yeah, it's been a busy couple of weeks here.
Any questions for Corey? Anything? No? Thank you. Councilor Musson.
Mr. Miller.
Mr. Miller, sorry.
Report.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Okay, thank you.
Didn't want you to skip.
All right.
All right, so I attended all the regular meetings for the month of February, and let me make this a bit bigger. February 4th, I had a library board meeting via Zoom due to the weather, and we discussed the reserve policy and a letter to the town regarding adjustments to the budget request. February 6th, I was bingo paymaster. February 10th, I had Communities in Bloom meeting. February 10th, 11th, 16th, and 19th, I did Commissioner of Oaths. February 20th, I attended the Telfordville Community Center on local food production. February 22nd, I volunteered at the Pigeon Lake Poker Rally. And February 23rd, I attended the Thorsby Tiny Tots fundraiser, which was the Legends of Country Music. And if you weren't there, you missed a great show. And highly doubtful they'll be making the rounds again because they were all over 80. The oldest was 93. There was 9 of them up on stage. They were fantastic.
Wow.
Well, Daryl just told me 70 is the new 50, so.
Well, pick up a guitar.
Wow.
Did you really say that?
Yeah.
Jeez.
We're gonna still be 40.
And that is my report.
Okay, what else have they got? So they got something else going on at the hall, right?
Yeah, there's wrestling on
Saturday.
Okay.
So Sam's not here to tell you, but I could.
Wrestling.
I don't have all the details, but I'm sure there's a poster at the front door.
They went door to door and sticking posters on our doors last night.
And Andrew Bojchenko is going to be there on Saturday.
Is he?
doing a meet and greet. I don't think they'll put him in the ring.
Oh, well, I was gonna say, is he gonna be wearing his leotard or what?
Yeah. And a local past resident, Latilly, I'm not sure the
Yeah.
first name. He's one of the wrestlers.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Barry knows him, so he must be in that. Canadian.
It's gonna be real Canadian wrestling. So
Stampede wrestling all over again.
Not that, I kind of lost the shine.
Last time I think they had wrestling in the community hall was the Little Beaver, like, the midgets, that was like
I don't
a
think
lot of
they're,
years ago.
they're
Oh,
not.
there was a candidate for him, an election or two ago, that he looked a lot like.
All right. Okay, well, thank you. Any questions for Tracy?
Are you going to wrestling?
No.
Oh, right. Oh, right, never mind. You're good,
Selfridgeville
yes.
Community Center is also having a St. Patrick's Day event on Saturday, and everybody's welcome. It was in the Connect 39. $10 a plate for, pulled pork and a bun and salads and a dessert.
Bring beer?
And coincidentally, it's my birthday, so I'm gonna make it my birthday party. So anybody who wants to come, I'll see you there.
I'm going to wrestling.
Have fun.
It's gonna be fun.
Thanks for that. Councillor Rash?
Yeah, the only thing I have to report is the regular meetings in February, and then we had our library board, which Tracy has nailed, basically just talking about, policy, and then I'm working on the budget and the letter to, the town council in regard to that. But we're not gonna talk about that until they come next month. Okay, and that's everything for me for February.
All right, thank you. Questions? Anybody? No? Motion to accept council reports for information?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. All in favor? That's carried. Okay, say reports, 8.1, Chief Administration Officer report. Say Donnie.
Thank you, Your Worship. So, been meeting with Nate regarding your capstone project, and we have a conversation with, the team this Thursday from 12 to 2 with all the scope and what they're gonna come out and do. There's 3 students that, will be looking at the water treatment plant for efficiencies and trying to figure out the solar wall, which really, that's the big thing. I'm just dying to find out what that thing is. And, so they do have their scope. I signed off on their work plan and their documents, so we'll just have a meet and greet this Thursday. The dean will also be on the phone call, and of course, you know, we'll determine there. I've given them space to work here if they need to, and they're pretty gung ho. So it's interesting. The dean emailed me and said, can you provide the students with your timelines so that they can phone you? And I said, well, sir, it's their project. How about they call me? And they did. All 3 of them got on the phone and called me and said, when are you free? And so I thought that was good. Dave, our utilities manager, will be involved in the project as well, and of course, we'll provide a full report to administration and council. And they're going to look at the rec center for a bit of a smaller project. So it'll be integral in the grade, and we'll have some say in their grade. Of course, as you know, we've put in the paper and in the Thorsby Facebook of our new members, staff members that have started. And Brandy this is their 3rd week already with FCSF. And on Monday, she never was off the phone all day, just go, and surveys and this and that. She had someone in her office for over an hour talking and helping and doing. And the income tax, we're going to ship to Edmonton to a group that does it still complimentary. We had a couple of volunteers want to come, but checking into them, all I will say was it wouldn't have been appropriate, say it that way. So anyways, this group does it for free, and a lot of FCSS ship the income tax in. It's not like the seniors or whoever has to run into Edmonton and all that. We just look after that. So that's good. So she's really doing well. Sharon Andrews EA has been busy in the public workshop. She had a stink bug on her water cup today before she took a drink, so fortunately she saw it. So anyway, that's just like the public workshop. But we are making her feel at home, and she's been cleaning. Denise is going in there to finish and clean in that whole office, so it's a professional office, and she's got a lot of stuff done already, which is pretty exciting. And then, of course, the job share with Cheryl for finance will be here on the 17th, which is Monday, and she starts her training with Cheryl. So, and we're pleased to indicate that it's Bobby. I can't remember Bobby's last name.
Oh,
Thank you very much. Bobby has graciously agreed to come work with us, so that's pretty exciting. We've been, of course, working successfully, as you know, to get the land donation ahead of, in front of council tonight with the redesignation, and it's been great meetings and very generous and really nice experience. And we've had meetings with regional CAOs, and I'm meeting with Kalmar when the CAO provides some time. He's busy like we all are, and we're going to look at next year's expectations. We are CPO basically this summer, like next year is now, but we're looking towards the summer now for our expectations of the CAO or CPO, up beyond, and some service levels. And then it's been a bit more quiet this month, but a lot of people in and out of the office, more discussion with regional partners, lots of surveys. Again, it's February. Surveys up the wazoo to fill out with Statistics Canada. You have to fill all it out. We have a Alberta job survey with the provincial government, and you have to sign on and fill out 20 pages. And at the end, I just put a 3 in. So I had to go through 20 pages to get the 3. And those take a ton of time. There's been some surveys come in for FCSS to fill out with respect to childcare in rural areas, which is good. So Brandy's going to look after all that, and that's kind of where we're at. Water stuff we're working on. We have meetings scheduled this week, so that's where we're at.
All right, thank you. Anybody have any questions for Sarah Dawn? No, thank you. What's happening with the community peace officer report?
That's one of the things we're going to discuss in my meeting.
Okay.
They indicated they wanted it every quarter. And
yeah.
Kalmar would prepare it. We will be discussing that. Something like that.
Okay.
It's just I don't think it's a misunderstanding. I think they're just not used to service levels with the contract peace officer program. So we'll get them all up to date. They're there. All the staff are there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. All right. We'll look forward to that. Public Works Manager report. See, you want to go over that for Andrew?
Yeah, Andrew's in Banff at the Big Water Wastewater Conference, and so he's already been in 2 days of trade show, and then the conference starts tomorrow. So I'm a little afraid of what he's bringing back. But anyway, he held his interviews with the municipal clerk, and of course, it's his words to welcome Sharon Copperthorne to the team. And he's been in all the water meetings, and they've been busy, the team, with the storm drains of ice. We've had some resident concerns that we're not chipping the ice away from all the driveways in a timely manner, and so we haven't been able to chip. We kind of got Madison squared out in the back there last Friday to get the water going, but you have 4 or 5 inches of ice. Rick managed to get quite a bit going last Friday, and then we had to get the bucket in to haul it all the way because it was flooded them. So the resident who originally had some concerns sent a very nice thank you letter back, which was good, and it wasn't a bad complaint. Sewer line repair was completed at the lift station with CB Max, so that was a 2-day repair. And just in case people wonder where their taxpayers' dollars are going, that was just about $65,000. So, and the problem is sewers are more expensive because you can't shut the sewer off. I can't send out a notice for everybody to stay out of the bathroom. It doesn't work really well. So you got to have a whole bunch of back trucks because you got to have one hauling and one filling at the same time. I mean, it's a weird subject, but anyway, you can't shut the sewer off, so that's why it's more expensive. Sadly, that break happened about 7.5 years ago, and it was, I looked up the invoices and that, and it was, at that time, it was just about $15,000, and it was fixed by a company that I won't name, but they don't have the certifications that CB Max does, so I'm not blaming, it just is what it is, and it was in the exact same spot as it was fixed 8 years ago. And so, of course, the guys are trying to remove ice and so forth, and it freezes off, so we don't want to damage the machines. We're still installing water meters. We're sitting at almost 200 meters installed and endpoints successfully installed. So once this is all done, we'll put out an RFP or a bid for a plumber to come and finish all the ones that need the plumbing done, so that we can do all that at once. And the other thing, Ontario just put out a environmental impact of road salt and water, and they've done quite a bit of studies on it with respect to corrosion and infrastructure damage. So I'm gonna start, talking to residents about this on their Facebook page, but, we're using too much salt, and it's leading to lead leaching from old pipes, increasing exposure. Not saying it's happening here, but this is what they're studying. Increased water discoloration and metallic taste in high salt areas, and expensive repairs to water treatment plants, the filters, right, that go out. And of course, we're waiting for Health Canada because they're suggesting that if we have too much chloride levels in our water, and we don't here, I checked with Dave, we don't. But we're gonna have to monitor that very carefully because Health Canada may put out a directive that indicates that if we have increases because of the winter, folks with high blood pressure, individuals on low sodium diets or with kidney disease may be at greater risk, so we have to put out warning bulletins. Now, that's not happening here yet. They're just telling us what's potentially. And so in Ontario, they want the chloride levels to stay below 250 milligrams per liter for taste concerns. And that's their standards. Dave's just double checking. He's comparing ours to Alberta environment standards first. That's why I don't want to say what it is here yet, but as soon as they do, I'll send an email and I'll put it out there. Health Canada also advises that sodium levels above 20 milligrams per liter should be disclosed to consumers on sodium restricted diets. So it's like, okay, one more thing they have to do. So we'll look at all that. Freshwater lakes and so forth, the trout can't survive, they'll die. And so we always ask, okay, what's the alternative to this? Because everybody thinks you got to salt the roads. I get it, I really do, I understand it. Very cold weather, salt doesn't do its darn thing, and when it dries and it warms up, it leaches. So we are, I've been waiting for this, and so is Andrew. Alternative de-icers are the beet juice brine. They're using it in Ontario very successfully, and we can get it out of Saskatchewan. So now we know we're going to get some. We're going to do a test strip on it to see how it works. It's a lot cheaper, and we can get it 45-gallon drums and sand. So, you know, we're going to have to, I think, next winter educate our residents very succinctly all the time because we're used to salt.
I think salt made it worse this year. Because the freeze thaw, like you say, it doesn't do anything until it's warmer.
Yeah.
So fine, -10, the slush all, gets wet, and
Yeah.
then it still goes down to -40, and the salt doesn't matter anymore.
It doesn't.
So it allows it to polish into nice ice.
Yeah, it does. And like one tote of that stuff, that mixture is almost $2,300.
Yeah, it doesn't go that far.
Yeah, it doesn't go far at all. And of course, we're so used to salty intersections, and it's nobody's fault for saying that. We're used to that because we think that salt's going to melt, and it doesn't. So we're going to work together this summer and get some messaging out for winter, and we're going to test this brine. And
All right, but it's your fault if the roads all look like a massacre.
I know.
This
Well,
beet juice thing, I don't know.
I know.
You're making me nervous here.
Well, we'll let people know there's been no homicides to date. I'm hoping it's not red, but I think it is. So, and then of course just monitoring and public awareness. So it's just, they have some stuff for residents: clear your snow before applying salt. Interesting this, because we put way too much salt. When you buy a Canadian Tire, we're putting the whole bag on the driveway. A single coffee mug of salt is enough for a standard driveway.
I'm
So
skeptical.
how do you spread that?
Very carefully.
I
I would say with a sieve. Yeah, that's probably
Like I
it,
can,
yeah.
1 cup.
Yeah, and so anyway, those are just some things that are coming out of Ontario. I'm pretty confident they're going to come down the pipe because it says health and environment, right? Canada Health. So.
Have we talked about that beet thing
Yeah.
before? Okay, so I'm
Yeah.
like, was that at a conference or am I,
No, I brought it up at a council meeting one time, but we weren't sure of it.
right?
So we've been waiting for more studies, and Ontario uses it now. They've approved it. So.
Well, I just keep waiting for confirmation. It's not like beet red.
Yeah, I don't know yet. We'll let you know before we spread.
It seems like a real problem if it is. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be a little scary. It'll get to everybody. So.
Thank you. Just as a note, I was talking to other communities that are having the same issues. I was talking to a counselor from Calmer on Wednesday there, and they've had a sewer line break as well as several water line breaks.
Wasn't it 4 in one weekend? I think,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
so it's, the other places are to me as well. Any other questions?
Okay. Still better than.
Is that what it looks like?
All right, thank you, Donna. And, moving on to the Parks and Recreation Manager.
I sent my public works manager away on a much needed vacation, so, basically, Kelly is warm somewhere with the survey center hands until we go. But, active memberships are 152 and our spas are 17. We've, remember how we talked about the Mom and Tots changed the name and we had that conversation? It's now the Stay and Play program and it's moved from the FRN building to the field house because suddenly, February 5th, there was 6, the 12th, there was 6, look at the 19th, 21, and February 26th, 30.
Weird.
Yeah.
Why it jumped so much?
I think the word got out
Weather and
and
weather.
the moms can have coffee and have little snackies and the kids have structured play.
Cheap programs.
Sheet program, yeah. And Samantha and is building programming, so the kids got something to do in the field house and it's structured, so they're loving it, so that's beautiful. Dean's always out here from the county and Kelly and I meet with him regularly, mostly she does, but if I need to, I drop in. And then the U9 hockey tournament was here on the 15th and 16th. Family day activities at the complex, approximately 100 participants, which is really good. Kelly attended the CARA meeting in Ontario in February and the Go Girl planning meeting with Leduc County. That's huge.
Yeah.
Coming up, it's huge. Building
Date for
operations, not yet.
April, usually in April.
I think it's April or May, so they can get outside. I'm not exactly quite sure, Councillor Tracy. We'll get back to you on that. February 3rd, lobby was having heat issues. I think our lobby has menopause. Sorry. LPH pressurized the boilers and opened the dampers on the air exchanger and repaired the baseboard heater leak in the mixer valve for the dressing rooms. A service request was sent on the 4th to Forest for parking lot lights at the facility and is showing that they're now operational. StarTech was out for a service on the compressors and February 13th, StarTech fixed the leak on the cooling line. So, sounds crazy, but it's regular stuff.
Right.
This sounds easier.
Yeah.
Any questions about the recreation park? No, and,
I'm assuming they say the cooling line, you meant the brine, not the ammonia.
That is correct.
the SES, I'm sure we'll have one next month.
We will, your worship. I didn't think it was fair to stress her out when she hasn't been here long enough to chat about it.
Not a problem, maybe we can have, one of the little meet and greet with her when she comes in.
100%, she will be at the next committee of the whole meeting. Yes,
Maybe we can get her clerk up front, yeah.
we can. So we can have them all come in, yes.
Perfect. Can I get a motion to accept the CA reports for information? John, all in favor? That is carried. And moving on to the CFO report, and Cindy's not here, so I don't know, do you want to go through it, Donna, or not? Or?
I may well, your worship.
Okay, works for me.
So basically, Cindy's processed all the T4s and pension adjustments, all the payables, all the EFT payments are made on time. Payroll's always done on time. The new finance clerk for job share was hired. And of course, Cindy has weekly staff meetings with her clerk for the morning. Property tax service to tax service for having a tax recovery. And then we liaise with tax service regarding a tax agreement on property. So one saved itself from the auction block, which is usual. So there's a tax agreement in place legally, and the government's fine with that. If they miss one payment, the house is ours again, and it goes back up in the auction.
Well, ideally they don't miss payment then, because I don't think we want it.
We don't.
Thanks, we'll lose money taking that.
We will. So we're helping him and guiding him every step of the way. And then received a ministerial order for extension of the old tax arrears properties for sale and forwarded to tax service. So we had to send a request to the minister to extend these. We had to make a compelling argument. The minister's chief of staff was guiding us on an old manual that he had. We had downloaded the new one, so we were like this for a while, cross purposes. But anyways, the minister's chief of staff was very kind to catch up to us. Year-end binder for audit. The audit team was here last week. They're done now. They're getting ready for processing everything. No issues, we had all the, everything was there for them to be pulled, and they're satisfied. All the documentation, was provided to them. Cindy's had some resident consultations with respect to these tax sales, and of course, information requests. So bottom line, our outstanding utilities are $69,738, of which $4,842 is subject to shut off. Outstanding taxes $249,370 cents, which 85,923.65 is up for tax recovery, and 117,603 is from 2420 tax notices. Operating accounts are $526,591. 2024 they were $5,025. Savings account $1.177 million. Last year this time they were $1.4. And city still can't get into GST, so we're filing it anyway. We're just going to file and let them decide that we have nobody that they can
Yeah,
talk to.
Christine couldn't help with that at all?
No, she tried.
Really?
Yeah.
This is the stupidest problem I've ever heard of.
They don't understand municipalities change.
This is absolutely nuts.
It's ridiculous, and I think that's a good comment for anyone.
Yeah.
Yes, here.
No kidding, like this is the most
Yeah.
absurd problem I've ever
Yeah.
encountered. Like I get, they can be very regimented in their approach, but this is over the top.
It's ridiculous. So we're just filing.
Okay.
We're confident there was about 200,000 and change. So we're just filing, and we'll try and unlock this. We have to get legal to unlock it for us, but we didn't want to go there just yet. So we'll see what they do when we file. Maybe someone will phone us and go, who's your mayor? We tried to tell you.
I've talked to them on the phone
Yeah.
directly, and
They won't accept you. No. They don't have an understanding of municipalities that switch. They don't allow us to switch after an election. They don't allow us to send in the papers, the election papers, the vote count, whatever we have to send. They don't allow that. They don't understand it, so.
Well, if we have this issue, then many municipalities must be having.
Somewhere's got the same issue. Yeah, and plenty more that aren't saying anything, so.
No, but they also get on weird little kicks, so this could just be the thing that CRA's been a pain in the butt about the last few years, and before that was some other thing, right?
Yeah.
So,
Moving the capital gains here pretty soon.
yeah, they always have they have little quirks, and then suddenly they'll just forget about it, and suddenly it'll be just give them a quick phone call, and they'll change it a year from now, but for the last 4 years, it's been some unreasonable requirements, and they get on weird little tangents. It drives me nuts.
100%. So, we're gonna poke the bear. See what
Okay,
happens.
well.
And that is the CFO's report.
All right, thank you. Nobody had any other questions? No? Motion to accept the CFO report for information?
Sure.
I can,
All in favor? Carried.
Is that our usual report?
Sure, shut up.
Whatever.
yeah.
Okay, so we've got a few correspondence letters. I think they're all from McIver, aren't they?
Yeah, they're real informative.
Yeah. I don't know if there's any need to go through them, Donna.
No, I mean, if council has any questions, basically with the Provincial Priorities Act, they made a new regulation that we have to follow now because they don't want us to get government grants from the feds until we tell them, so.
Yes, it's fairly onerous. If we talk to anyone who might have anything to do with the federal government, we have to give them official written notification.
Yep, and there's let me see, a 10-page regulation now that we have to follow. 3 of the pages are exceptions.
Yeah.
So,
Well, but no, most of those are like, you don't have to get approval if you have an existing agreement, is what all the exceptions are. Yes, if you already have an Air Force base in your town, well, we can't make you remove it, but like, fine, you have to provide us notification, we just can't say no to it because it already exists. It's not really much an exception, and the whole thing seems very unwieldy and heavy-handed.
it actually does. They've got more exceptions than you can shake a stick at.
Well, because they all had to, it was all just matters of how do we not make an exception, because like I say, when there's a military base in your municipality, they can't make you remove it. Like, so they never thought this through before they came up with this, brilliant scheme of theirs.
No, they just got mad at the federal government for interfering.
Yeah, and so then they had to make this ridiculous regulation trying to square a circle.
Yeah, that just means I have to keep all this in my file, because if we get a grant for federally for whatever thing we do, I gotta follow all this.
Well, yeah, you're not really allowed to apply for it without informing them first.
That is correct. I have to ask permission and fill out a big fat form.
Yeah, you have to, before asking for money,
Yep.
tell them you're going to ask for the money and see if they say no.
Then ask for it.
and then ask for it, but then it could be too late by the time they say, no, the grant deadline to apply is over.
No, they do have their automatic yes thing, or if it's 20 days and they haven't responded, then it's assumed a yes.
Okay, well, that's good.
So there is that.
Yeah, so Corey and I listened to him, his little speech, he was up there, he was there for probably an hour, wasn't he? 45 minutes?
Well, it was, yeah, probably 45 minutes, yeah.
We'll report back at the next month, but I just, one thing that kind of stuck out when he said, and I quote exactly what he said about housing. And he said that the, Alberta is looking for 100,000 new houses immediately. And when those are built, they want 100,000 more. And he said, I would like to hope that any municipalities have anybody that has any new housing or any development, they would fast track it and approve it within 24 hours. So I thought that was a
Pretty lofty.
pretty bold comment for him to make.
You know, your worship of council, that's not fine and dandy. What happens if you're small rural municipalities that the government hasn't wanted you to keep up with your infrastructure?
Yeah.
Well, in the subsequent letter here, he's bragging about how he has $1 billion worth of funding, forgetting to mention that that's a $400 million cut.
Right.
Dude, you cut it 30% and you're telling us that that you're doing us a favor.
So I just doing some simple math, I mean, if you take 400 people per resident, and, you know, I'm not saying that's the average, but say it's a married couple and 2 kids, you know, that's 800,000 people. Have we got 800,000 new people in Alberta? I don't know, maybe we do.
Sitting at close to 5 million now, I think. When I finished with the government, we were 4.5. That's 5 years ago. We gotta be sitting over 5 now.
Well, anyhow, but
Well, wasn't that the problem when Kenny did that, come to Alberta, but we didn't have housing for all these people and stuff like that?
Yeah, all it did was drive up housing prices and drive up unemployment rates.
Well, and homelessness maybe too.
Yeah, exactly. So, yes, come to Alberta where there's nowhere for you to live and no job for you to work.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How's this doing us any favors?
No infrastructure to use.
I think it was.
Oh, but yes, that's another thing in the next, I just wanted to point out in the budget, letter from here, they go to their way to point out how they're moving their 60 million from municipalities because they want to reprioritize on increasing, infrastructure. Do we not, as municipalities, operate and pay for most of the infrastructure though? So if they want to prioritize infrastructure, why are they cutting the funding that pays for the infrastructure?
Bizarre.
And that was, that's another couple things that he said in there, so.
Well, in this letter right in front of us, they say it again, but yeah.
Anyhow, all right, okay, that's a little note, and we'll talk some more about that.
So
So,
the grants in place of taxes, what is that with the RCMP? Is that federal or provincial, that because it's RCMP, but it's provincial contract?
Provincial contract.
So do they pay for grants in lieu of taxes, or does Ottawa?
Good question.
Like, have we been getting stiffed on it or not?
Well, let's see. We pay the province. The province then, see, here's where I'm not sure where it goes on to pay the province, because the province has a contract, subsidizes a contract with the RCMP federally.
So for the RCMP detachment, for the physical building.
Yeah,
I mean, it's either Ottawa or Edmonton. One of them owns the building
that
and
is correct.
should be paying a grant instead of taxes.
You're right.
But I don't know if the province has been not paying us for it, or if Ottawa has been paying us for it.
Well, and there's a third scenario to that building, because the municipality can own it. In Rimbey, Rimbey owns the detachment.
I don't think it does. I'm pretty sure it's not
Yeah.
us, but
Yeah, I don't know if it's us, but maybe I need to find
I'm
out.
pretty sure it's not, but
I know in Rimbey it was a surprise, because, got you to it. All of a sudden, when I was there, I was inundated with, we had to do a bunch of repairs in the detachment. And RCMP leased that building for, I can't remember what it was, X amount of 100,000, 20, 35,000 a year, but it would put into general revenue. So when I had to do a bunch of repairs,
yeah, there was no money.
no, and of course, the inspector of infrastructure came down from K Division and said, hi, we need this and this and this, and it's gonna be 50,000. I said, where do you think you're getting it? Well, don't you have a reserve? Of who? Right, didn't have a clue. So anyway, go ahead, Jeff.
Sorry, just trying to recall from memory, the building title is under RCMP, some something they write it out differently. It's definitely not us, I recall, just from memory. And then, I don't know if it helps, but I believe when they pay utilities, we get a check that comes, and I believe it's listed Alberta somewhere.
Yeah, so then they haven't been paying property tax on it the last couple of years.
No, they have not.
Okay.
That's under their PELT system.
Yeah, if it's the province and they just arbitrarily cut off any of the grants in
Yeah.
place, and well, they're saying that now they're gonna start begrudgingly paying us that again, so there's something, I guess.
Yeah, probably a good thing we don't own it, then we get a little bit of money.
If they actually keep paying us like they say they might.
Yeah, I agree. It's bizarre. It's the weirdest thing because, some municipalities own this detachment building, some don't. And I still don't know what the criteria was. We couldn't even find it on Rimby. What was the criteria that Rimby built theirs in 1983? And somebody else didn't have to pay for it. And Pinoka got stuck a little bit too, because they need to build a new detachment there in Pinoka. It's ancient, and the town of Pinoka is gonna get stuck for quite a bit. So, I don't know. So sometimes right now, because we're small, it's better we don't own it. That's great information, Jess. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I wanna say it was the same month that they told us that we had to start paying all these tens of thousands of dollars for policing, is the same month they told us, by the way, we're not paying property tax as well.
Yeah.
Exactly right. I just, giving me something to muck with. I'm gonna talk to staff sergeant because I think there's some health issues they may own us. Health is federal for property tax.
Well, you say if it's, like I say, I could see it being owned by either.
Yeah, agree. Let me find out.
Okay.
That just intrigued me here. I gotta note this out. Thanks, Jeff. Because if, that's fine that they own it, but it's still sitting on town land. It's not federal land that building sits on. It is municipal land.
Yes.
So before we start paying them money, some odd thousand a year, I think it's 50 now or 50, whatever it is, we should be owed taxes. And
Well, see, but the problem is we can't tax them because they're another order of government and they're not taxing us. They're making us pay for a service.
yeah,
It's not a tax, it's payment for a service.
that's right.
If we said, well, we're not taxing you, we're getting you to pay for the service, i.e. roads to get there, they'd say that's not the same as a tax.
That's right. That's right.
So they have a real double standard when it comes to that.
They do, anything to get out of it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if they qualify your PELT, and I'm just gonna.
They might, federally, it could change a whole lot.
It could change a whole lot.
Like I say, it was the province is the one who said they're not paying it. Ottawa has never had an issue with it.
No, of course not. If they don't have to pay anything, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just intrigued me, so I'm gonna do some digging.
All right, well, thanks for that. Motion to accept correspondence for information? Good, all in favor? That is carried. All right, we're coming to the section for the public. Back there. Yes.
My name is Wendy and I moved to Thorsby last June. And I would like to come in Thorsby. There was one weekend, I don't know how long ago, but in the last month or so, you had a water break. I come in, how fast you fixed that on the weekend. I went, oh, like it broke on a Friday or Saturday and within 24 hours, it's all fixed. I thought that was pretty cool.
Well, let's practice. All we did was shoot a lot of guys through the hole and we're hoping for the best. That's very kind. Yeah, we did get that right. That's
All right, well, thank you for that.
Well, every time I, oh, that's when they fixed the water main, okay.
Yeah, it's a bit of a turkey right now because of the freeze off, so it's a little rough. We fill it, we grade it, and 4 days later, it's safe. Anyway, the boys just fixed it on Friday.
The only complaint I really have is the 3 days over 50th Avenue was standard or something that took up with the max.
Yeah, it wasn't a dating rate, quite right.
Well, I appreciate you coming in and telling us that and,
So I just thought there'd be more public here, but Kevin says he's the only public.
Well, there's usually.
Yeah, we sometimes get Deb and
Yeah.
Irene in there.
Well, Deb Robb, my neighbor.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
Debbie.
I expected she.
Yeah, Debbie
The car was there when I.
well, like I say, we appreciate, coming, good or bad, and it's nice to have some good ones for once.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. You're welcome. Kevin, do you have anything you?
Yeah, just, you guys are talking about that donated property. I know a little bit about that, being donated, blah, 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 and so you're actually combining the cenotaph and the two together, obviously, right? Or you're in attempt to do that.
Yeah, to relocate the cenotaph from where it is to the donated part.
The only thing I would, throw in my 2 cents or make a suggestion for council to think about is to supply the power. So at least you have some kind of power, whether somebody wants to put a spotlight, or when you're doing the ceremony and you're laying the wreaths and stuff like that, you know, you can plug in, like you guys got a problem with the sign right now because there's no power going to it. So maybe if the town was to look at maybe just supplying the power there to there, so that they had some kind of power.
At least for the foreseeable future, I know that they have power for, things like Remembrance Day and stuff. That's not an issue from the adjacent property.
Yeah.
I'm very
I think
confident like indefinitely, that's not an issue.
yeah, I think.
I'm just thinking as a thought, because I know some communities don't have that. And then you get that buddy that's gonna lend you the generator or whatever, and you got the noise, or you bring up the karaoke, and the batteries don't work and all this. So I just thought if you guys are gonna go to this, like, move the statue and stuff like that, it just might be a thought to have power pumped in at the same time. You know?
Will it be in the?
Well, that is, yeah, up to the veterans, or not the veterans, the Legion, but,
Put it up to the donated landowner.
Yeah.
Chance.
like I say, I know that in the interim, it's not an issue, but in the long term, if the Legion wants to have power there or not, right, I mean, it's kind of their plan.
Yeah.
I think they're telling them how to do their part.
Yeah, they may want to put it within their grant that they're gonna apply for, so we'll make a note of that, Jeff, when we help a little bit here. Good suggestion. Yeah.
And then, second thing, I talked to Donna, so you had 2 water main breaks right up by my corner there.
Yep.
I get it, I understand it, the breaks and how you're pulling them and stuff in. Gravel's really a waste of time. And, to me, yes, right off the bat, you have to put it, like, I get that, I understand that. But now that gravel's really doing nothing, it's just making a hell of a mess on that road.
Yeah.
As well as up to the corner.
Frost is good, yeah, it's getting real soggy back there, and I saw that.
Well, the kids are coming by with the trucks and,
Yeah.
skimming it out, and it's just,
I think you're gonna be probably talking to the transportation people, maybe to.
They won't pave it, yeah, they won't, do we have to pave them too?
Yeah.
but what I'm getting at is, rocks aren't filling the hole anyway, so you guys come out, they fill it in, and within a day, it's just shot all over the road, right?
Well, we had it all pyloned off like a sign, and
Yeah.
somebody stole the pylons and the sign.
Really?
Seriously, I can't win. We put on signs for snow removal, and they're stolen within 24 hours. Wow. It's ridiculous. We have so many
Put
things.
those little tracking tiles and stick them on there, just to, see where they're going, yeah.
What's going on with
So when you
cameras
look
and
at
everything.
it just spits up glitter and parts.
Yeah, because Andrew had chatted about it, he said, I had it piled up, because he doesn't want to fill it with gravel either anymore, right? To tell everybody to slow down, and we had all that stolen.
So if you can let me know, I can go back in on my cameras, because I'm all cameraed up on there.
Perfect, that would be awesome, if you would be so kind.
Yeah, that's insane, like, seriously, like,
Because we know gravel's a pain in the neck, there's no doubt about it, we totally understand what you're saying.
I get it, like, I understand it, because I've done enough of that.
Yeah.
It's just, at this point here, the road is sunk in, it's good, it's solid.
Yeah.
You're still bang, 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 going through everything.
Yeah.
I
So
feel like
really-
you kind of have to wait for it to dry up a little bit, or it's gonna be pretty hard to do a good patch there, though, with asphalt.
We're,
No, but Corey, I'm just talking about the gravel.
Yeah.
Just the gravel, because it's like, it's, the Department of Highways, they come by, and then your guys come by and try and dig it out along the curbs and stuff
Yeah.
like that. The gravel's just getting pushed to the side.
Yeah,
It's just backing up the ice and the water and everything else.
sure.
It just looks like crap.
No, I agree, but like
So-
to actually pave over and do a proper patch on the pavement to, I mean, to, so that there's not exposed gravel there, I feel like we're kind of a little premature still. It's still a little soggy and damp and all the rest. I don't know, I'm not an asphalt guy, but
yeah,
I feel
we're
like it's a little hard to
premature.
do it in this weather.
Like, I was gonna take out my sweeper the other day,
Yeah.
just sweep it all up, just throw it on the frickin' side, just to clean it up, just to
Yeah.
clean it up.
Oh, no, I totally get what you're saying. It's not a long-term solution. That's, yeah, obviously, we don't want to do that like that indefinitely, but, yeah. I also don't want a patch that's in there that gets, that peels right out after a month.
Yeah.
We've had enough of those in town where, someone patches a hole and before long we're, repaving it because it,
So I get it, I understand, I'm just saying, that just to keep it clean, but
Yeah.
I'm not a clean freak or anything if you want that, it's
Yeah.
more of appearance, and then it's less bitching for people to come by, well, can't cross the sidewalk because my kids twist their ankles and all this other crap. And I've heard that, like honestly, man, I've heard that. So I just go, well, I clean, I sweep, I do whatever needs to be done, so this way.
We'll come along with the Bobcat bucket this week, do that, clean it off, and then we can get we might put up another, sign in the round.
Well, I think it's supposed to freeze again here in the next few days, so then it's
Yeah.
gonna heave all over again.
Supposed to get kicked into the snow Thursday.
Yeah, you're right. This freeze thaw thing, I don't know, is it gonna sink more, is it gonna heave more? I don't know, it's gonna do something, but.
Okay, well, thanks, Kevin, and I'll leave that in. Dawn's
Okay, my
hands.
last bitch of the day. You guys, you really have to come up and, put some cash out here for a different CD for our strikers. Like
What did they
frickin'
listen to?
Hey, Michael Jackson, for God's sake. Like, I know that song off my heart.
I don't even know what we're talking about.
They're playing music in my building.
Oh.
Michael Jackson, apparently.
Like, I think it's funny.
Well, I
Like,
got old CDs I can give them. I got something better, like, better than like.
I'm willing to tell them where you live and they go.
Oh, yeah, I got old cases full of CDs. I got multiple, like, little file boxes they can have if they need them. But yeah, I don't know why they're listening to Michael Jackson.
I have no idea, but
I think it was a couple Fridays ago, my roommate called, asked if the owner could come in the afternoon because the water was coming on our property. It's parallel to 46th Street, because I call it the alley, but I don't know the proper name of it. Our
We got
property
no-
backs up to West Tower there.
Yeah.
The water was coming on the lawn side, and they did come, he says, I can't believe it, I call in the morning, they come in the afternoon, he said, when we live in Spruce Grove, there's no way we could get that done. And I thought that was kind of cool, but he did what he could do. Because it settles there.
It does, yeah, it does, it's bad there.
Well, I've never been here this time of year, but the lawn is awful right now.
Yeah, it levels itself out after a while. We got some sidewalk issues and stuff like that too, right? And yeah, we try and get to it as fast as we can.
Well, that was awesome. It wasn't that many hours and the bucket was there.
We just bill you for overtime, watch your mail.
I'm not the owner.
So keep going.
No, it's ring of it. So what is your alias? What's overtime?
Yeah,
We're just tenants.
nice. We try and get to it fast enough so we're not trying to unthaw a storm drain, right? Because if the one
I don't
that
even know if
froze
there is
by,
one in the alley, because it's all gravel.
yeah, there probably is not, but if it runs and freezes another one,
There might be one at the corner.
yeah, I think so, because,
Yeah, there's a block away from there.
yeah, I think you're right. Because the one that froze at the grocery store, 3 weeks ago, the guys were out there for 6 hours trying to unfreeze that. They finally finished it up at 5:30, like it finally broke through. So,
There's the pinhole on the side of the dime.
no, this was on the storm drain.
Oh, on the
That's
drain.
when the-
One on the drain.
Yeah, that's when the storm drain was frozen, the grocery store was gonna flood again. That was a couple of 3 weeks ago.
It really was quite bad there, yeah, it was
Bad.
accumulating very quickly.
It was. We were glad we got it finally at 5 o'clock, they broke through. That was about 5 hours before.
Well, I went to go get groceries and I saw Phil over there chatting. I said, hey, if you're trying to get another clock, I warned you, go.
I love it. He still comes into business, he talks about that clock, I don't know.
I said, you can show up all you want, but you're not getting another one.
Sorry, you're not retiring again.
On the grocery store's parking lot, is that there or yours?
That's their asphalt there, the pavement that comes up against the building, that's there, okay. Yeah.
Because I park up front, because I used to park on the side.
Yeah.
But my little car bottoms out.
Yeah.
Yeah, over the
Yeah.
little curve there,
I go
yeah.
up the front, because right after that, I had fuel line leakage.
Oh.
I didn't tell them what it was.
It's a high curve there.
Yeah, there's a lot of people kind of awkwardly coming at a weird angle, and that's why they're awkwardly coming
So
like sideways
I
up
park in
on
the front now, I go around the walker, there's no one in the front, because I don't wanna wreck anything, you know?
Yeah.
You're totally fine there, it's all their parking.
One day I had to park across the street.
It could be busy there Sunday, no question, yeah.
And then if the water truck comes and takes out almost half of the front part.
Yeah, or they got a grocery truck in the side there too, sometimes it's offloading in the.
Okay, I've never seen that.
Yeah.
I've seen the one.
They're usually there overnight, they unload early in the morning. Yeah.
All right, well, thank you all for that. Anything
Oh,
else?
no, I wasn't scared.
Anything else back there?
No.
Okay, take a 10-minute recess and then we'll come back and we'll do any update.
Just update.
Huh?
Should have a 10-minute break.
No, I think he's just doing it, I think he's calling.
Tracy, that letter we missed, 10.3, is that the one we applied for last year, the minister's
Yeah, everyone's
award
just gonna need a
for
motion for me, which is
municipal?
like